Okay, last time, no, we do have a recap of what you have tackled, no, regarding logical fallacies and sound reasoning. So you also did additional exercises, no, for those logical fallacies. So enough for that. Now we are going to move forward, not for our new lesson for today. Okay, so before that, I would like not to announce lang that later after the discussion, now I will be announcing the project, not for tawag dito, for this semester, not for this quarter rather. Okay, so medyo madali lang naman, no, yung project na yun, and it has something to do, no, with the topic that we are going to discuss, no, today. Okay, so it's all about no summarizing. Okay, I know that you are a bit familiar, or you are familiar na talaga no, with summarizing, no. So lagi niyo itong ginagawa way back, no, perhaps no, from your elementary days to high school days to junior high school days, no, you're about to summarize no, some stories or even articles no, that you have read. Okay, so now we are going to find out what are the various techniques no, in summarizing a variety of academic texts. Okay, so we will about to learn okay, the techniques no, in summarizing a variety of academic texts. So ano nga ba yung mga techniques no, when it comes to summarizing a text? Okay, para mas mapadali no, yung ating pag-summarize. So let us first define what summarizing is. So can you read what is summarizing according to Buckley? Okay, would you mind to read, Eunice, what is summarizing?
According to Buckley, in her popular writing text, Fit to Print, summarizing is reducing text to one-third or one-quarter, clearly articulating the author's meaning and retaining main ideas.
Okay, very good. So when we say summarizing, according to Buckley daw, no, 2004, in her popular writing text, Fit to Print, summarizing is reducing text. Okay, so when we say reducing text, of course, no, pinapaikli from the word reducing, we shorten it. Okay, so to 1/3 lang daw or 1/4 of its original size. Okay, so meaning you are not going to retell or restate no, the whole story. Okay, but you are going to reduce it into its 1/3. Okay, or 1/4 lang no, na original size or original length no, of a certain story. Okay, clearly articulating the author's meaning and retaining the main ideas. So that is according to Buckley 2004. How about to Diane Hacker? What is summarizing according to Diane Hacker? So would you mind to read season?
According to Diane Hacker, in a Canadian writer's reference, explains that summarizing involves stating a work's thesis and main ideas, simply, briefly, and accurately.
Okay, so according to Diane Hacker of 2008, sabi niya, Canadian writer daw. Okay, so Diane Hacker defines summarizing as, okay, it involves the work's thesis and main ideas. Okay, you know what thesis and main ideas, di ba? So when we say thesis statement, it is the main idea of the whole story. Let's say, for example, when we say main idea naman, that this is tawag ito, the topic sentence no, or main idea for each paragraph. Pag sinabing thesis statement, this is the topic no, or the main idea for the entire no, of a certain story or article. Okay, so simply daw briefly, no, accurately. Okay, so when we say summarizing naman from the dictionaries, okay, it is defined no, as taking a lot no, of information and creating a condensed version no, that covers the main points no, as well as to express the most important facts no, or ideas about something or someone in short and clear form. Okay, so when it comes to dictionary naman, no, it was defined like that. Okay, something to be condensed, no, or a condensed version, no, which covers the main ideas or the main points, no, of a certain story or of a certain text, no, and also to express the most important facts, no, as well as ideas, no, about something or someone, no, in a short and clear form. Okay, sabi nga din, simply, briefly, and accurately. Okay, so that is summarizing. Okay, so reducing the text. Okay, but retaining the main ideas. Next, so when it comes to summarizing, these are the keywords lang. When it comes to summarizing, we do have reducing text, now clearly articulating thesis, main ideas, okay, simply, briefly, and accurately. Now it is a condensed version to most important facts, ideas, short and clear form. So those are the keywords lang no, that we tawag dito, I had tackled no last on the last slide, no, on the previous slides. So now let's go to the various techniques in summarizing a variety of academic texts. Okay, so what are the different techniques here in summarizing a variety of academic texts? First, so would you mind to read the first one, Ashley?
Read the work first to understand the author's intent.
Okay, so first one is read the work no first to understand the author's intent. Okay, so this is a crucial step no, because an incomplete reading no could lead to an inaccurate summary. Okay, so note that you have if an inaccurate rather summary no is plagiarism. Okay, so first we must read the entire story man yan or entire text. Okay, kasi nga daw an incomplete reading may lead no into a inaccurate summary. Okay, let's say for example, kung yun lang yung nabasa mo, of course, no, yung summary mo would not fit no, the entire story if hanggang kalahati lang okay yung binasa mo. Okay, so beforehand, you must read the work first so to understand the author's intent. No, and kapag hindi daw accurate no, yung ating summary, no, it can cause plagiarism, especially if we are going to copy lang no, all of the words no, given by the author. Okay, and not paraphrase it. Okay, so that's number one. Second, would you mind to read Kasakop?
Summarize and format facts, skills, and concept in visual formats.
Okay, not very well. So one of the summarization technique you can do, okay, is to present no information through facts, skills, no and concept, no in visual formats. Okay, so in which no you can provide the cause and effects, no yung cause and effect charts pwede yung gamitin, the timelines, the Venn diagrams, ano pa ba, the templates no for outlines. No, you can also use flow charts or even infographics. Okay? So kung makakatulong yung such things no, to present information, okay, you can do so. Okay, so visual formats. No, there are some of us kasi na visual learners. Okay, so pa pwede natin gamitin yung mga charts na yan. Okay, tanda pa naman siguro sina Venn diagram, no, sina outlines, sina flow charts, okay, yung infographics, okay, yung mga timelines. Okay, so ginagawa pa rin naman. Next one is to know the main points and the supporting details. Okay, so to avoid difficulty, bakit natin kinakailangan daw to know the main points and supporting details is first is to avoid difficulty. Okay, so you need to first know the main points no, and the supporting details. Okay, and with this, no, you can exclude no, the illustrations, no examples or explanation. Okay, so when it comes to summarizing, know the main points muna, tsaka yung supporting details. Okay, so hindi nyo naman kailangang i-restate lahat. Okay, yung mga main points lang tsaka yung supporting details. So, okay, fourth one, no, analyze the text. Okay, so you need to analyze the text for what? Of course, to save time in thinking no, of what you will do. Okay, kasi kung babasahin mo lang yan without analyzing, papabalik-balikan mo lang basahin yan. Okay, first is you should analyze the text. No, para after reading it, no, with analyzation, then you can come up with with how to summarize it no quickly. No, now you can save time. Okay, hindi yung paulit-ulit ka. All right? And next one is to think what information no you will put no in your summary. Okay, so what are those informations ba na ang dapat nating ilagay sa ating summary? Of course, di ba, hindi naman lahat ng informations that you have read na for a particular text no ilalagay nyo doon sa summary. Okay, so you must think no what information you will put in your summary. Okay, but be sure not to cover the main points as well as the arguments of the documents. Okay, so lagi natin isasama yung main points, the supporting details, no, and the arguments of a certain or particular text. Okay, but not the entire text na ire-retell. Okay, kaya nga summary lang siya, di ba? Reducing it no, into a condensed version. Next, okay, restating the words no into different one. Okay, restating the words into different ones. So alam niyo naman na yung restating. Okay, meaning hindi ka copy-paste lang pagdating sa summary. Okay, so one of the best thing to do when it comes to summarizing is restating the words into different one. Okay, you should avoid using the original words of the author. No, instead, use your own vocabulary. No, but be sure to retain the information. Okay, so wag na po natin gamitin sa ating summary yung mga original words no, that the author no, had written. Okay, or had used. Okay? So, pwede naman natin yung palitan. Okay, we can use our own words for that. Okay, but then again, no, make sure lang natin no, na yung information as well as the thought no, of the story is still there. Hindi magbabago. Wala kang idadagdag. Okay, you are just going to restate no, the words. Okay, or the sentences. Okay, not using the original words. No, but also your own words. Okay, so that is restating the words into a different one. 7 is organize ideas or organize all ideas. No, simply because, no, for you to fully understand, no, what the document or what the particular text is all about. Okay, so if you are going to organize all the ideas, so mas madali kayo ngayon makakapag-summarize. So, kagaya ng pag-outline, no, that is one way of organizing your ideas, di ba? Have an outline. Now, later on, we will have an example no, of how to organize all ideas, no, in order for you to have no, a summary as easy as that. Okay, so later on after this 10 various techniques. Next is to write down all information in a coherent and precise form. Okay, when we say coherent, okay, meaning dapat magkaka-connect sila. No, there must be a connection. Okay, from the introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay, when we say cohesion or coherent or being coherent. Okay, hindi yung, ito yung topic mo, biglang lalayo yung topic, babalik na naman, das lalayo na naman. No, that is not being coherent. Okay, when it comes to being coherent, dapat there must be connection, no all throughout, no within a particular text. Okay, and it must be precise now. Okay, so one of the things no you can do is to write down no all information in the coherent and precise form, just like what I've been said here. Okay, just keep in mind that a summary no, is a condensed version of the original paper. So avoid making it long. Okay? So kapag sinabing summary, again, this is a condensed version, dapat hindi siya mahaba. No, sabi nga 'di ba kanina ni Buckley, no, dapat 1/3 or 1/4 lang of its original size. Baka naman mamaya, okay, yung summary ninyo is mas mahaba pa of the original story. Okay, so grabe naman yun. Okay, so you are just going to write down all information, no, coherent pa rin, tsaka in a precise form, but no, it must be in a condensed version. Hindi na kasing haba nung original one. Next is represent information. Now you can also decide not to represent information, okay, but through using dimensional constructions, no, in representing concepts, no, skills, or facts. So represent information. So pwede yan katulad nung ginagawa kanina, yung mga tawag dito, mga infographics, okay, ano ba tawag, the mga graphic organizers. So that is representing information. And lastly, the most important one, halos katulad lang din naman siya ni number 6, na restating. So number 10 is paraphrasing. Okay, so paraphrasing, ano ba yung paraphrasing? It is one of the skills na that you can do no, in writing a summary, not just in a summary, but also in a research, right? Okay, so with it, no, do not use the same words with the author. Okay, kapag nagpa-paraphrase tayo, hindi tayo gumagamit ng words na ginamit na ng author na doon sa story. Okay, we are restating it na binabago natin yun into our own words. Okay, so not just the words but also the structure of the sentence itself. Okay, binabago natin yan, ha, yung sentence of the structure. Hindi yung binago mo nga yung mga wordings, pinalitan mo ng something synonymous no, to that certain word, pero yung sentence structure, ganun na ganun pa din. No. Okay? Binabago pa rin po natin yung sentence structure. Okay? As well as the words. No, pinapalitan natin yung mga words doon. No, and then together with that is we change the sentence structure. Okay, but we are retaining the information. We are retaining the thought no, of the story or of the sentence itself. Okay, so hindi yung kinopya mo lang yung isang linya doon sa story, pinalitan mo yung certain words, that's it. No. Okay, so you must use your own words as well as you must no construct your own sentence. Okay, but without no tampering, no the information, no given on the story. Okay, so that is paraphrasing. Okay, so those are some of the techniques in summarizing a variety of academic texts. So later on, we do have methods pa. Okay, ano ba yung ano ba yung mga different methods na ginagawa sa summarizing? Okay, but this one pauna, okay, these are the various techniques no, in summarizing a variety of text. So kumbaga, these are tips, okay, in summarizing. Okay, so with these tips, no, you will no longer worry, di ba? Whenever you need to summarize, because it is your one-stop solution na, na to having a fantastic summary na that offer nice details no, to the readers. Okay, so follow the tips no, and you will not make mistakes when it comes to summarizing. Okay, so that is various techniques in summarizing a variety of academic text. So example, let's say for example, Japanese rail tunnel. Okay, so di ko na babasahin dahil medyo mahaba. Okay, let's say for example, this is the text. And then you are going to, you are going to summarize it. No? So you can have first, no, organize the ideas of it. Okay, you can have a bulleted form of it. That's one way. Okay, so let's say for example, ganito yung gagawin mo dyan. Okay, example number one, yung kanina yon ha. Okay, you're going to put it in a bulleted form. Okay, yung mga most important details. Increase in traffic, connect islands, Honshu and Hokkaido. Predictions and continuing growth. The longest rail tunnel opened 1988, 54 kilometers. Opened in 1988. Okay, so na ano lang na doble. Bullet trains, never used tunnel. Okay, so those are some of the informations that you can get no, from the certain text. No, and also fall in the cost of flying. No, and not used as much as forecasters predicted. So once na meron ka ng mga main ideas or mga main points, no, when it comes to a certain text, no, in a bulleted form, just like this, no, you can put it now into a summary. Pwede ka na ngayon gumawa ng summary. Okay, so just like this one. Using those main points no, that you have listed, no, using bulleted, no, you can come up with a summary that the longest railway tunnel no, in the world links the islands of Honshu and Hokkaido. So this 54-kilometer tunnel was inaugurated in 1988 not to deal with a predicted increase in rail traffic. However, no, the fall in the cost of flying and the fact that high-speed trains no, cannot use the tunnel have resulted in the tunnel being less widely used than expected. Okay? So that is the summary of yours. Now, okay? So ngayon, gumamit ka ng mga sarili mong vocabulary. Okay? So gumamit ka rin ng mga transitional words such as however. Okay, you can use transitional words such as however, in addition to that, no, on the other hand, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's how no, we summarize no, a certain text. Okay, so that's one example. Next is another 5 easy techniques in summarizing na various academic texts. Now, these are the following methods na mas makakatulong sa inyo in summarizing no, a text. So first technique, no, it is what we call somebody wanted but so then. Okay, so somebody wanted but so then. Okay, so yan. So somebody wanted but so then is an excellent summarizing strategy for stories. Okay, each word represents a key question. Okay, which is related to the story's essential elements. So when it comes to somebody, okay, the question to be answered is who is the story about? Okay, syempre, who are the characters? So who is the main character? Rather. Okay, when it comes to somebody. So wanted naman, the question to be answered is what does the main character want? Okay, ano ba yung gusto ng character or ng main character? Sa but, identify a problem that the main character encountered. Okay, so what was the problem na the main character encountered? No, sa part ng so, how does the main character solve the problem? Tandaan na lang so, solve the problem. Okay? Then, not tell how the story ends. Okay, so then is the ending of the story. How does it end? Okay, so that is the questions not to answer when it comes to the technique number one called somebody wanted but so then. Okay, so let's put it in an example. Okay, so somebody wanted bath soden using the technique. Okay, for example, no, somebody wanted bath soden. Okay, so each word represents a key question nga sabi ko. No, let's say for example, in a Little Red Riding Hood. Okay, so somebody, sino daw yung person na naandun? Okay, who is the person talking, or who is the character talking about? No, of course, Little Red Riding Hood. Wanted, what does the character wants? No, she wanted to take cookies to her sick grandmother. Okay, but ano yung na-encounter niyang problem? She encountered a wolf pretending to be her grandmother. And so, what was the solution? No, she ran away crying for help. Then, what was the ending? A woodsman heard her and saved her from the wolf. Okay, now you have completed the somebody wanted Batsoden technique, but that's not the end of summarizing it. Okay, so you are going to put it in a sentence in order for you to have a summarized no, version of it or a condensed version of it. Okay, so let's put it ngayon into a paragraph. No, ipuput pa rin natin ito paragraph, hindi ito yung final natin. Okay, this is just a technique, a method, or a guide. Okay, let's say for example, ayan na, ilalagay mo na siya into a paragraph. Now, you will come up now with Little Red Riding Hood wanted to take cookies to her sick grandmother. No, but she encountered a wolf. Okay, he got to her grandmother's house first and pretended to be the old woman. He was going to eat Little Red Riding Hood, but she realized what he was doing and ran away, crying for help. A woodsman heard the girl's cries and saved her from the wolf. Okay, and now you come up with a summary. Now using the somebody wanted but so then technique. Okay, so is that clear? Can you hit the thumbs up button if that's clear? Okay, very well. So now let's go to another one. We do have another technique, which is what we call SAAC method, no, the SAAC method. Okay, so the SAAC or the SAAC method is another useful technique now for summarizing any kind of text. No, it can be a story, it can be an article, it can be a speech, no, etc. Okay, so SAAC is an acronym for State, Assign, Action, and Complete. Okay, so ganun din. Each word in the acronym refers to a specific element. Okay, that should be included in the summary. Kagaya lang din nung kanina na kay somebody no wanted but so then there are questions to be answered. Dito naman there are elements not to be included in the summary. So when it comes to the word state, okay, dapat nilalaman ng state is the name of the article, the book, or the story. Pagdating naman sa assign, the name of the author. Sa action, what the author is doing. Okay, so is the author telling? Is the author explaining? Okay, so complete naman, complete the sentence or summary with keywords and important details. Yung action dito, one word lang siya. Okay, and then yung complete dito, yun yung kaduksong rather. Okay, nung action na yon. Okay, so yung tell. Now let's say for example, SAAC method. Okay, so let's say for example, the story is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Okay, so are you familiar with The Boy Who Cried Wolf? Di ba yun nanloloko siya sa mga tao that there is a wolf. No, lalabas yung mga tao magpapanik pero wala naman. No, but sometimes, no, but there comes a time na totoo na may wolf pero walang lumabas na tao kasi lagi siyang nagsisinungaling about the wolf. Okay, yun yung story na yan. So state, sabi daw ano yung sa state, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, no, the title. Okay? So sa assign, who is the author? Aesop, no, a Greek storyteller. Action, what does the author do? No, she tells or he tells. Okay, and then complete. No, you are going to complete lang the action. Okay, the author tells what happens when a shepherd boy repeatedly lies to the villagers about seeing a wolf. Okay, and now again, this is not the final product. You are going to put it not in a paragraph form. Okay, gagawin niyo pa rin siyang summarize. No, this is just a guide. Okay, so when it comes to summarization, no, magiging ganito siya. The Boy Who Cried Wolf by Aesop, no, a Greek storyteller, tells what happens when a shepherd boy repeatedly lies to the villagers about seeing a wolf. After a while, you can add, no, they ignore his false cries. Then, when a wolf already does attack, they don't come to help him. Okay, so that is now how to summarize now using the SAAC method. Okay, state, assign, action, and complete. Okay, so using the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Okay, so that is the SAAC method. Next method, meron tayo tinatawag na 5Ws 1H. Okay, so you know what the 5Ws 1H naman siguro, no? Okay, so this strategy no, relies on 6 crucial questions. Okay, so now who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay, so these questions to make it easy for us not to identify the main character, the important details, as well as the main idea. Okay, so ito yung common na ginagamit especially way back no, on our high school days. Okay, the 5Ws 1H. Who is the story about? What did they do? When did the action take place? Where did the story happen? Why did the main character do what he or she did? How did the main character do what he or she did? Okay, so let's put it in an example. Let's say, for example, the story of, or the fable, the famous fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. Okay, ang kuneho at ang pagong. Okay, in Tagalog. No, the tortoise and the hare. Who? No, the tortoise. What? He raised a quick, boastful hare and won. When? Okay, so yung when is does not specified in the story, so it's not important. So where? An old country road down. Why? No, kasi the tortoise was tired no, of hearing no the hare boast about his speed. And how? No, the tortoise kept up his slow but steady pace. Okay, you now have the main ideas. You now have the main points. Again, this is not the final product. No, you're going to put it in a summarization, no, in a paragraph form. Okay? So ganito. Tortoise got tired of listening to Hare, no, boast about how fast he was. So he challenged Hare to a race. Even though he was slower than Hare, Tortoise won by keeping up his slow and steady pace. No, when Hare stopped to take a nap. Okay, so now we have the summarization of this fable, the tortoise and the hare. Okay, by using the 5Ws 1H. Again, yung mga technique and method po, those are just guidance. Okay, so in order for you to get your summary pa rin, now you are going to put them in a paragraph form. Of course, coherently. Okay, so kung hindi man sunod-sunod, dapat coherent sila. Okay, you may use transitional words either. Okay, so that is 5Ws 1H. And lastly, if I'm not mistaken, technique number 4, no, we do have first, then tsaka finally. Okay, second to the last no, rather. So the first, then finally technique helps students summarize events in chronological order. Okay, the 3 words represents the beginning, the main action, and the conclusion of a story. Okay? So kaya siya chronological, dapat syempre sunod-sunod siya. Kaya nga first, then tsaka finally. Okay? So hindi pwedeng hindi sunod-sunod. Okay, yung first no is talking about the beginning, the then talking about the main action, and the finally talking about the conclusion. Okay? So ganun din, it must answer these following questions. First, what happened first? No, include the main character and main event of the action. Okay? So what happened first? Ano yung unang nangyari? Kasama daw yung main character doon tsaka yung main event no, or main action. Kasama doon sa first part. Sa then naman, what key details took place during the event action? Ano yung mga importanteng nangyari no, during the main action? No, doon mo ilalagay yun sa part then. And then finally, what were the results of the event or action? Okay, so ano yung naging resulta? Okay, ending kumbaga. Okay, so let's say for example, so it's an example using Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So first, Goldilocks, okay, the main character, entered the bear's home while they were gone. Okay, so that is the main action. Now, Goldilocks entered the bear home while they were gone. Who is the main character? The Goldilocks. Ano yung importante yung nangyari ngayon? Okay, doon sa main action, doon naman sa then yun. Okay, then she ate their food, sat in their chairs, and slept in their beds. Okay, yun yung mga importante nangyari during the main action. So finally, no, ano yung ginawa niya at the end? Finally, she woke up not to find the bears watching her. Okay, so she jumped up and ran away. Okay, so that's how we summarize using the technique number 4. Now, first, then finally. Okay, so sa first, andun yung beginning part, inclusion of the main character at saka ng main action. Sa then, nandun yung important details, no, nung nangyari sa main action. Then sa finally is the ending. Okay, so what was the result? Okay, so that is technique number 4. Now, first, then, and finally. And then lastly is the technique number 5, give me the gist. No, this is the very easy, this is the easiest way siguro, no, of the techniques, no, among the techniques. Okay, you can use the gist method as a fun, quick way na to practice summarizing on a regular basis. Okay, so para ka lang nakipag-chismisan, no, for giving the gist. Okay, so ganito lang kasi siya. When someone asks for the gist of a story, they want to know what the story is about. In other words, they want a summary, not a retelling of every detail. To introduce the gist method, explain that summarizing is just like giving a friend no, a gist of a story. No, and have your students tell each other about their favorite books no, or movies in 15 seconds or less. Okay? So parang gano'n lang daw siya, napakaiksi lang when it comes to giving the gist. Okay? Para lang siyang giving the synopsis. You know what synopsis is, di ba? Sa mga libro. Okay? So as short as that. Okay, when it comes to giving the gist of the story, you must have no, the synopsis of it lang. Okay, kung baga, yung pinaka, ano lang niya, yung pinaka topic, yung pinaka thesis statement lang niya. Okay, yung kanyang synopsis lang. No, for about 15 seconds lang daw or less. Okay, so meaning napaka-iksi lang talaga niya. Okay, so para ka lang nakikipag-usap sa kaibigan mo that this story is all about. No, this thing. Okay, so that is the gist. No, para lang siyang synopsis. Okay, so that is technique number 5. No, giving me the gist. Okay, so before we go no, to the ending of the lesson, again, no, the additional 5, the additional 5 techniques. Okay, so we do have the somebody wanted but sudden. Okay, meron din tayong SAAC method. Meron tayong 5 W's 1 each. Meron tayong first then finally method. And then we do have the gist method. Okay? So when summarizing is useful, okay, nasagot na rin naman yan. Summarizing is useful in many types of writing daw and at different points no, in writing process. Summarizing is used not to support an argument, to provide context for a paper's thesis. Okay, it can also use to write literature reviews no, and annotate a bibliography. The benefits done on summarizing lies no, in showing the big picture, no, which allows the reader to contextualize what you are say, when it comes to summarizing, although we are reducing it into its condensed version, no, still, no, it shows the bigger picture, okay, of the story. Okay, meaning nakikita natin what was the story all about by means of the summary. Okay, but we are not tasked not to read the entire story, but within the summary, we can now see no, the big picture no, of the entire story. Okay, so in addition to that, no advantages of summarizing for the reader, no, as a writer naman, you can gain a better sense no, of where are you going no, with your writing. Now, which parts needs elaboration no, and whether you have comprehended no, the information you have collected. Now, both reader no, tsaka writer benefits no, when it comes to summarizing. Okay, so summarizing is very much important. Okay, so that will be the last slide. Okay, so for your activity, okay, kindly rejoin na lang no, for the tawag ito, for the activity once the Zoom meeting has ended. No, that's the project rather. No, hindi yan activity. Okay, so that's the project.